Okay, welcome to March. It's been exciting that we've got through a quarter of the year already. It's been a little bit turbulent with changes of government and all those sorts of things. So just an update for this month on a few things. I won't keep you long. First of all, just wanted to quickly touch on a couple of events that we've had in the last few weeks. One, we had an event in Roma with Trevor, the Vice President of Santos, talking about general conditions for Santos, what impact the oil prices had on their operations, and further what operations they look like they're going to progress with in the years ahead. Really interesting that they're going to slow down obviously in this calendar year in 2015, but thereafter they're looking at spending $1 billion a year ongoing up to about 2020, and then $500 million a year thereafter. So significant amounts of money going forward. We've also just had, of course, Geoffrey Cann from Deloitte speaking at an event, talking about what people can do during this phase as we transition into operations and maintenance. And with a falling oil price, to make sure that you can succeed through this period, batten down the hatches and come through the other end smelling really good. A couple of quick ones. We've done a lot of work in the last couple of weeks with governments and the Reserve Bank. So the Reserve Bank approached us asking about economic conditions through the region. So they approach us every 6 months or so asking what's going on in the region. So it's a helpful thing for our region to get impact straight into the Reserve Bank. We also had a business forum with Premier Palaszczuk that John Wagner, our chairman, and I attended. We were thoroughly impressed at the attitude of the Labor government. All of the ministers were there bar two. They were clearly very well briefed about what TSBE did. So we're looking for some really good engagement with them going forward. They made it very clear to us that there's no Labor member in this part of the world, so they're really keen to engage with organisations like ourselves to make sure that they understand the issues affecting the region. Further to that, we've got Minister Lyon, who's one of the Ministers for State Development. He's coming up here on the 23rd of April. We're looking forward to that, so that'll be a really good opportunity it's one of our enterprise evenings, just for you to understand where this new Labor government might be heading, particularly with their new Better Regions program. A couple of just quick ones. We've got our business confidence survey results will come out very shortly the next week. There'll be some surprising things there because even though it's tough, there's generally the view of the business communities that we are pretty optimistic in this region. I think it's fair to say, and we've said it for a while, that you wouldn't want to be in any other region at the moment because there is a lot happening. Finally, from me, look, we do talk about optimism all the time, and I do think we live in a pretty good part of the world and there are projects happening, but it is tough. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people battening down the hatches. There's been quite a few retrenchments. But if we've seen anything through the presentations of Trevor and Geoffrey Cann, that there are better times ahead. Projects will start, the capital spend will start to happen, operations and maintenance will start to spend. Things like the range bypass will come on board. QIC are really only getting started with their development here in Toowoomba. Inland rail, the list goes on and on. We've got to be optimistic. So hang in there, times are certainly tough and I really appreciate that. Make sure if you're in the resource sector that you're talking to people like Regan and Lance. There's no better time to be in contact with those guys. As it's getting tough, I want you to make sure you're talking to them daily if you have to make sure that you're aware of opportunities and you're talking to other people in the industry about possibilities for your business and supply chain opportunities. Similarly in the ag sector, it's not doom and gloom there, and we're talking a lot about export. Make sure you talk to Joe and Kate and Ben Lyons overseas about export opportunities for your business or innovation. So anyway, times is tough, hang in there. I'm sure we'll come through the other side. Until next month, hope all goes well for you, and hopefully we'll see you in the meantime. Thanks.